So in this video, I want to answer the question, what safety management system or what safety management software maybe is right for me. Um, there's a couple things that you need to consider when you start looking for a safety management system. I'm going to assume at this point, if you're looking for a system, you're talking about a software or not a method. If you're trying to decide what method to use, there's a lot of different options out there. I would highly recommend looking at safety management softwares because they're going to make your life a whole lot easier. Um, when you're looking at a software, there's a couple things you need to consider right off the bat. How many people are currently involved in managing your existing system, your paper system or your spreadsheets, whatever you're currently running? Or if you already have a software and you're just looking for another software, same kind of thing. How many people are currently managing it as far as like editing the documents, tracking employees, maybe clearing up existing documentation that needs to be thrown out or replacing it maybe. Um, do you have a budget in place? If you don't have a budget in place, start taking a look at the ROI of the different systems out there. Some of them boast a positive ROI. I think that's a great thing in a system. Look for ones that are going to save you a lot of time. That's the biggest benefit I think that you get from a safety management software is that they should save you a decent amount of time. Really, the idea here is that you're cutting down on paperwork, you're cutting down on tracking, you're cutting down on follow-up because the system should be doing a lot of that for you. Um, the other thing to look at is accessibility. How easy is it to get your documentation out of the software? Um, look for tools that are web-based. If you can, I would recommend, just because they're going to be a lot more accessible. It's going to be easier to get your documentation if you're out in the field, pull it up on a phone or a tablet. Um, especially like if you're a manufacturer, probably don't need something like that in the field necessarily, but it's always more beneficial to have that. But especially for like construction companies, oil and gas, that kind of stuff, you're going to definitely want something that is very accessible. But outside of that, look at the user friendliness of it. Is it something that your people will actually use? Is it something that you will use? What's the user interface look like? I would recommend finding something that is very simple to navigate. You don't want to be stuck in a place where you can't find a document that you need. If you're searching for an SDS because someone's got chemicals in their eye and you need to pull that up right away, you should be able to do it in a couple clicks. You shouldn't be searching around. It shouldn't be difficult to find the documentation that you're needing. That's kind of the purpose of these things, right? Um, Other things to consider is what is the level of buy-in that you have. If you have a system that requires your employees to get in, make sure that it's something that they're on board with, or else you're going to have a little bit of an uphill battle there trying to force them into it. But realize there's a lot of benefits to the employees. One, the accessibility. Once again, the other thing is you shouldn't have to feel like a mean parent pushing down on your employees. If it's something that's easy to use, it's got a nice clean interface. Most employees probably aren't going to have an issue with using it. Um, I think those are kind of the biggest things to consider when you're looking for a safety management software or a safety management system. Maybe there's other things you should consider. If you have things that I missed that you think are very important, definitely bring them up to me. The other thing is features. What are the goals that you're trying to accomplish with your safety management software? Obviously, this is probably one of the more important ones. Does the software that you're looking at have everything to meet your needs? If they don't, are they willing to make changes to meet the needs of your specific company? Were they built for a company like yours? Um, some of these softwares, Basic Safe in particular, is very configurable. So if you have multi-sites or single site, if you have 100 admin or 100 people managing safety or one person managing safety, it's very much built to meet the needs of any type of company. There's also softwares out there that are pre-filled. They're made for a specific industry. They have all the documentation that companies in that industry should need, or most of it. It's a little bit more plug and play, whereas ours is going to be more taking the approach that you currently have and making it more efficient, easier to manage. I really want you to understand the benefit, or understand what safety management system you should go with. But the best thing I would say is, if you get demos, if you look at the products, make sure that you get a chance to try them. Get in the product and use it, because that's going to be the thing that really is the determining factor. I hear all the time about companies that purchase a product because they saw a great video of it or they saw a great demo of it, and it wasn't what they were expecting when they got in to use it. It wasn't as easy to use, or it didn't have everything they needed. And it's a situation that should be fairly easily avoidable. Try out, even if it's for a week, a day, try out the different softwares, get into them as like a demo user or a trial user, whatever you can. Um, but make sure that you put the time in. Don't just jump on the first one that you find, because there's a lot of different options out there. I obviously think that Basic Safe is the best one because that's where I work. But don't take my word for it. Check them out.